We have been burned time and time again. And just like that toxic ex in college, we keep going back thinking maybe it'll be better this time. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it is not better this time. We have worked with countless agencies in hopes of taking marketing off of our plate so we could focus on generating more revenue. And guess what? We actually lost money. We were not happy and it did not work. So finally, we have learned our lesson. And because the advancement of technology is just more incredible than ever, AI has given literally the most tech illiterate people the ability to create and manage and optimize their marketing and bring it in house. There has never been a better time to own your marketing. And we are so excited to talk about all of that on today's episode. Let's dive in. Do you remember when I opened my Instagram app when we walked into Rusty's school last week and we saw this video that was horrible looking? It was like flashing blue and like lightning rods, and it talked about x-rays and like all of the cringy spine chiropractic stuff. And then we realized it was for Verve.
There's a lot of old people too in the ad,
Oh,
which is
man.
ironic because we're a prenatal and pediatric clinic.
Yeah, there's a guy like holding his low back with like lightning radiating off. Like, this guy has pain.
And our colors are what? Burnt red and orange and
Not blue.
not blue
Not blue.
and white.
Yeah, we literally have in our branding, it's like the anti-clinical feeling, like non-medical sterile, and it's like white and blue and lightning. Yeah, you would think that we would have learned not to hire people, but like you've been managing 30 to 40 clinics marketing recently, and I lost my main marketing guy. So we were like, let's just hire an agency again. How bad could it be? And you guys, it was really bad.
So I've made a lot of mistakes recently. We were running 3 campaigns for Verve. So we were running an adult, prenatal, and pediatric. And I was like, I'm so busy with the Expanded Collective. I would love to try to offload Verve's ad campaigns to an agency, one that we had used in the past, and it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good, but also we weren't really focused on the adults so much back then. So we
Right.
thought, okay, well, we want to go, in kind of this expansion. And so maybe we'll bring them back in. And that's right, the toxic ex from
Yeah,
college.
it
So
wasn't
it'll be
that
different
bad.
this time
Yep.
because, we weren't right for them last time.
Right. They didn't wanna do the pediatric and prenatal.
Right, right, right,
Adult was
right.
their thing.
Now we're a better fit for them. So we said, let's start with just adult campaigns. And if it's good, then we'll, give you the Webster and the baby campaigns or pediatric campaigns. And it's just been a train wreck, which is ironic also because in my effort to help our clinics in the Expanded Collective generate more leads and revenue faster, I'm not so different from this toxic ex. And I realize that now where I'm like, hey, you know what? My team can help you. I can do some things for you because you're busy and this is all new to you and you have to, learn the content and then practice it and what the hell's a meta tag and, all the structure for writing a good ad and copywriting frameworks. Let me just do it for you. And what I did is basically turned into an agency, an accidental agency owner. And I realized that that was just the opposite of why we created this business in the first place. So there's been a lot of life lessons over the last few months. But what is ironic is I have seen the other side. I've seen the agency's perspective a little bit.
Right.
There's still kind of no excuse for not using the brand's colors. Like it's so simple to just scrape it with AI, and we'll get into that in just a second.
Yeah, and I
But
feel like the universe, like, really needed to teach us a lesson. So, I feel like we've gotten the worst of the worst agency stories and experiences because, like, we are meant to help other people own their marketing, and if we hadn't gotten burned so bad in such obnoxious, obvious ways, like, maybe we wouldn't feel so spicy about it,
yeah,
but
it was a good test, and I think the moral of the story is no one will ever care about your clinic as much as you do.
No, nobody will ever advocate for your results the way that you will.
And when you are an agency owner and you have 30 to 40 different clinics and ad accounts and target audiences and different offers, are x-rays included or is CLA Insight included? Is first adjustment included or not? Is it this city or is it that zip code? We want this zip code, but not this. Holy shit. My head is spinning just right here explaining all that to you. And that is just a snippet of some of the conversations that need to be had, right? But if you're ever going to grow and scale and manage marketing for that many clinics, inevitably quality is going to dip because you have to hire more team. They are further away from the clinic owner or from the specialty, right? I understand chiropractic, but my team necessarily doesn't. What's a perfect storm ad, right? Like I had to go explain to my team, like, what does perfect storm mean? And how is that? How do we market to that? And it just brought us back full circle that you have to own the infrastructure and the systems and at least the knowledge to do so. Because at the end of the day, whether I'm gone, right? Let's say the Expanded Collective closed tomorrow. Well, then that's 30 or 40 clinics that are now reliant on new patient growth and paying their mortgage and feeding their family because they don't know the skills of how to do that. And so I'm actually doing them a disservice and goes against my whole philosophy of why we've created this company. But I digress. We're righting the ship, as it were. But what's really interesting is how much technology and AI has really shifted and changed in such a short amount of time that I literally don't have to. Because let's back up. For a long time, the gate was it's too technical. I don't know the ins and outs of the jargon. I'm not a marketer. I don't know how to be a marketer. And agencies kind of like, using big words, just like maybe chiropractors do in some regards, but wanting to kind of keep the strategy and the algorithm and latest and greatest of here's how we do it and why you should hire this out. And it's so complicated and you don't want to.
Our data is extra special.
Yeah, we don't have just meta, data, audience data. We have extra data that finds people that are not just, families, but ready to buy chiropractic. It's like bullshit. It's all marketing.
Marketers marketing their marketing.
Yeah, well said. But now there are connections with AI tools like Claude where you don't ever have to leave Claude to manage your meta ads. You set it up once, you got to create an account, you connect it with Claude, you can run scheduled tasks to say, how are my performance? What should I optimize? How should I change the targeting? There's now multi step workflows known as skills within Claude. And granted, this is all happening so fast in real time, like just within the last few months, that I can edit videos. I can have Claude or other agentic tools go into my Google Drive, find clips of videos of Danielle working with patients, stitch them together, and overlay text that I don't even need to go in Canva.
It's insane.
It can edit that video and then push it to meta ads and then write copy and boom, done. I've literally launched new campaigns and ads from my phone. Like, don't even need to go on a computer, let alone into Meta Ads Manager. So this wasn't around back in the day.
4 months ago.
Last October when we started this company. But seriously, that's how fast that it has
Totally.
exploded because we started and it was like, okay, here is pre-recorded content across ads, social, SEO, and it was Loom trainings and everyone had to go in and learn, figure it out, ask
80 trainings.
questions. Yeah, like that was the first mistake is, thinking more content is more value, just like in the chiropractic world, more time with the patient does not equal more value, right? We understand that now. And then it shifted, well, everyone was overwhelmed. Don't have time to learn all this. Okay, we'll just do it for you. And now here we are. So with AI, it's like we could cut out the learning part and we could really trim it down to like what are the really highest revenue generating activities? It's running ads. Google, Meta, whatever. That is the fastest path to getting people in your door. But the challenge is, until now, in order to do that, I needed to rent that from an agency.
Or learn a very technical process.
Yeah, that took time.
Right.
Now, both of those things are non-factors.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time when people who are not technically savvy can literally follow an SOP that says, enter these words, hit this button, here's the thing, put it back in here, ask it to analyze and make any corrections, and then post. That is how simple it is to create your own ads, to even create your own social content. We know social content is really important when it comes to that ecosystem, right? If we're paying for those eyeballs, we want those eyeballs to come back somewhere that has good content with messaging that speaks directly to them. Like those processes are so easy that even your CA who doesn't have a ton of AI or really computer skills can take it off your plate and run it just like any other SOP that you have in your practice.
Mhm.
Will you know how to do it right away? No. But would you know how to run a charge in your EHR right away? No. It's just another thing to learn, but it's easier than ever because of the advancement of AI. Like even I can do it, you guys.
Well, and what's cool is Claude literally last Friday just released Claude Design. So if we think about launching an ad campaign, there's multiple different steps and elements that all kind of come together, right? First is the offer. What are we offering? Is it a discounted first appointment? Second is the strategy or the angle. Who's it for? Is it, ideally not for everyone. Maybe it's women with scoliosis in Huntington Beach, California, right? So we zero in on who it is, what's the offer, but really we got to go deeper than that. So it's like, what are their pain points? What have they tried? What are their preconceived notions about chiropractic or scoliosis? Their current beliefs that we need to then shift. So, okay, we need to write some copywriting. How do you do that? Well, there's different copywriting frameworks. So, okay, we got to write that out for the actual ad and then maybe the landing page. If they click the ad, where do they go next? Then we have to have the ad creative. Is it an image? Is it a talking head? Is it a carousel? Is it a B-roll of me adjusting, people, kind of using storytelling with text overlay on screen? All these different elements. Okay, so let's pause for a sec. We have a strategist, a copywriter, a video editor, and a graphic designer. And we hadn't even gotten to launching and analyzing the data yet, right? But all of those steps have to happen. Then let's say we don't just, get their name, phone, and email right there on Facebook or Instagram, but we send them off platform to a landing page like a real funnel. Well, then we have to have designers to and copywriters for the landing page specifically. Maybe a video editor if it's you talking about, hey, what it's like in my office and here's how we help you and things like that. And then from there, it's the conversion tracking. So if we're going to tell Facebook, find me a lead, well, we have to cookie them or tag them with the meta pixel. And so we need to put that code on these landing pages on the thank you page. So anyone that hits the thank you page submitted the form, right? And there's a gate there. So there's then you get into the technical stuff, right?
Mhm.
And then you launch the damn thing and it bombs. And you're like, shit, these ads aren't working. I need new ads. So then you're going back to the drawing board and you got to get more creatives, more images, more videos. You have to analyze the numbers, know what's good, what's not. I have a 1% CTR. The fuck is CTR? And it's 1% good.
Right.
I have no idea. It's click through rate. It's how many people you stop the scroll. Typically 1% is what you're going for. So, and yes, that would be fine. And then obviously, I skipped over like actually setting up the campaign.
Right.
Like if all these buttons and Meta wants you to spend all more money and what's good and what's not.
I can't even figure out how to invite someone to manage my like Meta business profile, let alone set up an ad campaign by myself as a
Another
human.
common headache
Yeah.
for agencies and clinic owners alike is Meta does not make anything easy. But within that whole workflow, I just listed at least 10 different steps, 10 different skill sets that you need to have from copywriting to landing page design to video editing to strategy. It is overwhelming.
Right. No wonder. clinic owners were coming in and they're like, "I cannot do this myself."
Yeah. I've boosted a post. You know why? Because that's easy. And so now doing all of that, I'm not going to say it's as easy as boosting a post, but it's a lot easier than it used to be because now Claude, a single source of truth, which you can save on your clinic, it can house and have access to your Google Drive for images. You can pre train it with skills that do multi step workflows, and you can connect it directly to Meta Ads Manager. So now it can write the copy, think of the offer. It knows your brand, it knows your voice, it knows who you want to target. Now with Claude Design, can push out that landing page. And, if you have the frameworks
You
and
just
you know what to look for of like, this is good, this is not, change this, change that. You're not ideating and creating. You're just like, hey, let's swap that testimonial with this one. And Claude Design is so cool that you can, like a Google Doc, you can just comment directly, highlight something and say, change this thing. And Claude will go do it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So you literally just need to know, like, who you serve generally, and Claude can build out everything about
You
their
could give Claude your
psychographics.
website and say, find me the highest intent. Like, I want to run a meta ads campaign. Who should I target? Here's my website. And it would crawl your website and say, okay, you serve pregnant moms, families, babies, kids, and adults, which, and would probably ask you some clarifying questions. And that's what I think Claude is so powerful at. It's like truly a partner. And one thing I learned this morning was actually asking Claude to grade itself based on the output that it gives you. So let's say you prompt it to design a video or image, you then could say, grade yourself on how well you think this would perform for stopping the scroll. And based on that score, edit it accordingly. And then it will self like
Regulate,
identify and
yeah.
regulate and learn and improve without you needing to kind of be the, I don't know, puppet master almost.
So it's like you basically just need to know enough so that you could be kind of the QA, the quality assurance. You don't even need to know how to do the job. You just need to be the manager of the parts or have someone on your team that's the manager of the parts or that can think critically enough to be like, I don't know if this is going to perform well, but I can ask AI if it will.
Yeah. And is everything AI comes out with the truth? No. But you know what? We're not doing rocket science here. It's pretty simple framework and it can understand launching and optimizing a chiropractic ads campaign for Meta, for generating new leads and booked appointments. So it's just really eye-opening for us as clinic owners, but also to help other clinic owners understand that it is easier than ever to own your marketing and systems because of AI. Another bottleneck or black box, I should say, was okay, I get a lead, they opt in. Well, now I got to follow up with them. How do I, go high level? That's a whole thing I need to do. Nurture sequences and how do I connect all of that? And Go High Level is building out its own AI agents inside of its platform. So you can go to it and say, I need a 7-day nurture sequence for new leads that come in for this campaign. Claude wrote the follow up sequence. Here's the copy. Boom, done.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even need to have VAs anymore. You can literally just do it yourself. And you made a point earlier where you talked about, if it doesn't perform well, go back and iterate again. Something that I didn't mention earlier is when I flagged that blue image to said agency, I didn't get a response back for like a week. And then once I got a response back, it took days for them to actually get in there and change the creatives. If you find that something isn't working when you run it yourself, you can literally go back to AI and be like, here's the performance, analyze this and help me create a new creative that will perform better
Instantly.
instantly. And because nobody will advocate for you the way that you do, you can do that on the spot and get it right back into that ads manager to then improve performance and not light your money on fire for a fucking week.
Yeah. And one thing I'll caution with that is you can't make too many changes with the algorithm,
That's true.
right? But, Yeah, if you're noticing trends over a 7-day period and it's like, okay, these 2 ads are consistently not performing, then yeah, kill them and create different variations. Easy.
And you wouldn't put up the blue version in the first place.
No, because you know that that's not on brand. So it's exciting. I think another cool thing is Manus, Manus, was acquired by Meta. And Manus is kind of more, it's different than Claude, where Claude is kind of the brain, Manus is the doer.
Yeah, it's truly an agent.
Yeah, like it can really execute multi-step workflows really easily. But what's cool is now that it's Meta is incorporating it into its ads manager and Instagram. So you can go and connect it to your Instagram right now and say, give me an audit of my last 30 days. And it will look at the engagement, what worked, what didn't, give you some content pillars. And then it connects, with Google's image and their AI through Gemini, Nano Banana. And so you could say, create a carousel that aligns to this, schedule it, post it, because they can do scheduled tasks. And there you go. There's actually a carousel on the Expanded Collective Instagram that I did from bed on my cell phone playing around with this. It's a black carousel. I didn't have an image to really design it, but minimal prompting. And just for testing purposes, I said, schedule this to go out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., wrote the caption, hashtags, all that stuff.
It's
And
wild.
yeah, it's just so easy for, okay, now we have ads. We could do Google ads through Claude too. Now we have organic social, go high level, automation, nurture sequencing, things like that. Claude writes it, and then their own in house AI agents can build the workflows.
You can literally give it your font preferences, your brand colors, and have Claude write an email nurture sequence, and Go High Level will build your email campaign, your text campaigns. So, a company that used to say, "We'll build out, an entire, like, welcome sequence or whatever," it's like, that's kind of obsolete because you literally could just give it, like, your design preferences and what you're trying to accomplish, and it will not just create the copy for you, it will literally build it in Go High Level. Like, it's just I can only imagine where we're gonna be 6 months from now. Like, there's no excuse to not bring things in-house, and I don't even know how agencies are gonna survive. Like, I guess there will always be somebody who wants someone else to do it for them,
Yeah.
but it's just getting easier than ever, and it feels like to be able to bring somebody in-house or even take somebody on your team and task them with this, like, let's use AI to make them more efficient, maybe free up 5 to 10 hours a week where they're not having to do as much data entry, let's say. And now all of a sudden they can run our marketing in, like, I don't know, not even that amount of time, 1 to 2 hours a week max.
Yeah.
If they're fully analyzing and, doing quality assessment and making sure that performance is good and then, recalibrating, adding any new creatives they need to. I mean, would you say that's a fair assessment, like 1 to 2 hours a week?
Yeah. Yeah. It helps if you have the videos already and you can pull from. But
For sure.
yeah, a couple hours a week and your team can do it and they don't need to be technical or specialized. Another thing that I think, if I'm Perfect Patience or Inception or one of these, managed service website agencies that you have to pay me 500 bucks a month to have a website, I'm pretty nervous right now if I'm them because Claude can or AI in general can spin up a website and I can figure out how to host it and then I can work on using AI to optimize it for SEO
They should
to
be fucking
to
scared.
rank higher. It's like
I'm so sick of these
the power is coming back
Yes.
to the business owner for sure.
I feel like there has been this predatory landscape, and I think that it's even worse in chiropractic than other professions because we went to school to learn how to be doctors, caretakers, healthcare providers. Right? And like anybody who's in practice or owns a practice probably feels that way. Nobody taught you how to own a business. Nobody taught you how to do your marketing. Nobody taught you how to build a website. So you have all these companies that are like, not only can I charge a fair amount, but I actually can like jack up the prices. I'm going to tell you I'm doing SEO, but you're never actually going to rank and you're never actually going to get calls on Google. Well, chiropractor doesn't know better and it's not their fault. It's because these companies know that they can take advantage of these providers. And so you end up spending thousands and thousands and thousands a month having all of these things managed. And we get the fucking power back now. Like, I am so excited, and I hope that every clinician that's listening to this realizes how much power that they actually have, and I hope that the limiting belief of, technology or whatever barrier you've seen to doing this yourself, like, goes out the window because, like, ride the wave. AI is going to make these things so much more accessible for us, for the people who are focused on doing other things because that's what we learned how to do. But, like, I don't know, if you can shave off 5 to $7,000 a month on all of these managed services, think about what you could do with that profit, whether it's reinvesting, hiring another team member, or taking it home to your fucking family.
Yep.
I'm excited and I'm fired up. If
Yeah,
you
you are.
if you don't own your shit, you should.
Wow.
The
Mic
end.
drop. The end. The episode's done.
We'll see you next week.
So yeah.